Well, good evening, everybody. Just wanted to get you caught up on what's going on here. The focus now is shifting towards tomorrow for sure, and our potential for severe weather tomorrow. So, we want to give you an update. Things have settled down across most of the area tonight, well south and southeast of St. Louis. A couple of thunderstorms trying to bubble up, but really the focus is shifted into Wednesday. And what are we dealing with? Another round of severe weather. This time it looks like a couple of waves of stronger storms heading our way. Could start as early as 11 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock west of St. Louis. And you'll have those two waves. You get a break between the two, but until 8 or 9 o'clock as we go into Wednesday evening, we'll be looking at the potential of this lingering. Now the threats, it looks like Wednesday, instead of being these little brief spin-up tornadoes or some gusty winds that are isolated, it looks like some of these storms would be a little bit larger and capable of producing a wider area of severe weather. And so we're thinking 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts out of some of the stronger storms. We also think there's a much larger potential for seeing hail up to the size of ping pong balls, maybe larger. And there's also the potential that we could see a strong tornado. Speaking of tornadoes, we have some to show you from early on Tuesday morning. These are the ones that were between 3 and 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. The first two that touched down almost simultaneously, one just southeast of Bourbon. That one rated an EF0, caused some damage. That was about 3:24, 3:25 in the morning. Peak winds on that about 80 miles per hour, just up the road here in Sullivan. This is Highway 185, just on the east side or southeast side of town. In fact, the high school is right in here. And you go down 185, that's the way you get to Merrimack State Park. So a lot of you have traveled right by this. That's where we had that bar and grill that was literally destroyed with that. It was rated EF1 with winds estimated around 100 miles per hour. And then along Highway DD, down here in southwestern portions of St. Charles County, we had another EF0 tornado this morning. That was the one that prompted the warning that many of you were awakened to in the metro area for the tornado early this morning. So that's what it looks like right now out at Lambert as the sun is getting closer to setting. Planes coming and going without any problems here locally tonight. But boy, that could change here going into tomorrow. I want to take you in here and kind of just track what we're looking at with these storms. We do have some here off to the southeast of St. Louis, and we kind of look into this area over towards Xenia, back down towards Mount Vernon. This is the area that's been a little more favorable to see a stronger thunderstorm this evening, and that tornado watch has been in effect this afternoon across eastern portions of Illinois, stretching from the Flora area over towards Olney. So those are the areas that we've been looking at here with those storms rolling on through. But the bottom line here is we come back and take a view across the rest of the area. That's it in terms of thunderstorms. They are all to our south, they are all to our east, and they are pushing away from the region. The severe weather threat really has shifted over into Indiana, and you can see as you go a little farther off towards the east and southeast of Indianapolis, this is where we're looking at some pretty intense storms here and some tornadoes in there too. Several tornado warnings for that going into eastern portions of Indiana and then up here along Interstate 75 going into Ohio. So this line of storms effectively still part of the same system that came through here this morning, still causing some problems. So how are we timing things out for you this evening? Let's look at our Futurecast. Again, not much to worry about here locally through the overnight hours. We're anticipating temperatures later this evening starting to drop back into the 60s. Skies will tend to become partly cloudy to mostly clear. So we're going to keep that going. That sounds nice, right? And we will actually drop back into the 50s tomorrow morning. And some areas north and northwest of St. Louis actually are in the lower 50s. I don't think we're going to see a lot of fog developing across the area because it still looks like there's at least a little bit of a breeze. So you watch this system kind of generating more lines of thunderstorms here through the Ohio Valley into the Great Lakes, even up into portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin, some stronger storms. We have the bit of a break right now, but that spin is still here in the atmosphere. More energy is coming our way for tomorrow. And yes, we're going to bring another weather system in here to go along with that energy. The playbook for tomorrow still isn't written, but we have a lot of clues as to what's going to transpire tomorrow, and they aren't all good either. So our risk area for severe weather, we're at a level 3 out of 5 over much of the 5 on your side area. Certainly through the metro area into southern Missouri, southern portions of Illinois, and then going down towards Memphis, down into Arkansas, over into Kentucky, and into Middle Tennessee. Again, this is a higher level threat than we had the last few times we've been dealing with severe weather. And we think we have a better chance of seeing more widespread wind damage in those gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour, and also the potential for that large hail. You know, we may be talking golf ball size, ping pong ball size. We may be talking about some significant hail. That definitely dings up cars. It also dings up roofs. And if you've tried to find a roofer lately, you know they're pretty busy because of all the hailstorms we had last month. This also is the type of pattern that allows for the development of larger rotating thunderstorms, those supercell thunderstorms. So it's not just the little spin-up tornadoes that you have to worry about at the leading edge of these storms as they tend to bow out, but you also have to worry about the actual rotating thunderstorms and if you're going to be able to tighten that rotation in supercells. And so that's something else we're concerned about for tomorrow, something we didn't have to worry about early on Tuesday. Those are the types of storms that tend to produce the more intense tornadoes, also ones that tend to stay on the ground for a longer period of time and over a greater distance, not these little spin-ups that are on the ground, maybe go for a mile or less and only last a minute or two. These are more significant. We're hoping that doesn't happen, but it's certainly a threat that's on the table for tomorrow. Storm alert Wednesday. Your temperatures are going back around or a little above 80 for the high. Our best chances will be as we head into the early afternoon and then the late afternoon. There may be a little bit of a break in between, as you'll see with our Futurecast, these storms. So in the morning, you know, we're starting kind of cool, right? Temperatures are going to be in the 50s. We'll jump quickly, a bit of sunshine, then clouds start to increase, showers and thunderstorms start developing. The anticipation is around 10, 11 o'clock off to the west of St. Louis. Now keep in mind, this is just one computer model's simulation of what it thinks the radar will look like at this time. You know, it's not perfect, but it is a pretty good first guess. And you can see, rolling right on in from the west, these storms, a little more intense right along the Missouri River from St. Charles County down into Franklin County, so Washington to Union, probably have gone through Innsbruck at this point, and then stretching down towards Cuba and towards Sullivan again. This is one wave, okay? That's our first wave. That's coming in towards lunchtime. But notice back in mid-Missouri, this will be closer to the front. There's more development happening there. So as this first wave pushes through kind of during the lunch hour, we may see some severe weather with that. We also have the potential with that second wave that comes in mid to late afternoon into the evening hours for that to stir up some pretty intense thunderstorms. Now here's the thing. If the first wave tends to stay farther north of St. Louis or at least north of our southern counties, that means areas of southern Jefferson County, Valley Mines, Crystal City, get across the river, say to Valmeyer and Waterloo, and then down towards Ruma, down towards Chester, Illinois, and going back towards Farmington. This whole area down here then would not be disturbed from earlier thunderstorms, which would then help fuel these storms and potentially make them stronger. So there's things that still have to be worked out for sure, right? But these storms that move through during the evening hours, if there's enough instability there, they certainly have the shear, they have many of the other ingredients. And here's your energy kind of looking at that. It just exceeds all expectations here down across southern Missouri, especially southeast Missouri into southern Illinois. So this is the fuel. This is the energy that's available for those storms that we assume will be there tomorrow afternoon. And you take that energy, put it in with the other ingredients, and you come out with potentially some pretty intense thunderstorms rolling through here. Now, that energy begins to fade by 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow night, perhaps sooner. Once we get done with that last round of thunderstorms, that will be it, for the rest of this week, we think. So we're just trying to get to tomorrow night, honestly. I mean, you may have storm fatigue and just kind of tired of this overarching pattern that just won't stop producing these showers and thunderstorms. Again, east and southeast of St. Louis this evening, you still have the chance of popping a shower or thunderstorm. The cold front's not really through. But we think the severe weather threat is going to be during the day on Wednesday into Wednesday evening. This is our storm alert day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're heading into Mother's Day. We get a chance to dry out here. Looks like there's next to no rain chance over the weekend. Sure hope that holds. How about 75 to 80 for the highs on Mother's Day? That's pretty decent for St. Louis. Then we go into next week, and potentially the unsettled pattern does return as we go back into the 80s, and we turn that southwest flow aloft back on, and that tries to bring some more disturbances and potentially some more stronger storms our way. Let's just get through tomorrow and catch a break. Some of us have had, 6 inches or more of rain in the last week. It's just, everything is sopping wet. We may get another ½ inch to an inch or more in some places tomorrow. So just kind of focusing just real fast on Mother's Day as we kind of watch that cloud build here off into Illinois on the other side of the Gateway Arch. Kind of looks a little, I bet something's trying to brew. 73 Saturday, 79 Sunday. Your Mother's Day weekend in St. Louis. Cool mornings, bright skies, warm but not humid during the afternoon. This is going to be a very nice Mother's Day weekend for us in St. Louis. All right? Mothers deserve it, and everybody else would like to have a little bit of a dry time and a little bit of a break from this unsettled pattern. All right, we're going to let you go for tonight, at least for now. Unless something drastic pops up here off to the east, and we don't think that's going to happen. But we'll keep you updated here as time rolls on. Again, as we kind of look out to the airport right now, the sun's getting ready to set in St. Louis at this hour. Quiet night on the way for most of us overnight. And again, there's a look down Market Street through the Gateway Arch at the cumulus clouds trying to build off to the east of St. Louis. More likely you're going to see any showers and thunderstorms staying over our far southeastern counties, down towards Mount Vernon, and then kind of scooting out of Illinois into Indiana. All right, we'll catch y'all again with more updates as needed. We may have another update later tonight. I know tomorrow morning Anthony Slaughter will have you going, and we'll have Jim Castillo in here. We'll be updating you throughout Wednesday, and of course tracking the storms all day long tomorrow from the 5 on Your Side Weather First team.